Yeah, I know I skipped that badass intro I have, but to be honest, this video is kind of long. But you guys gotta watch the beginning of this video while I was spectating. This is some hilarious shit. You guys know that was fucking funny. I mean, seriously, that's what he gets. He's just sitting there being bushwalky, pretending to be AFK, baiting the enemies with his AFK abilities, and he just gets fucking owned. Because so many snipers in here are such complete garbage. I don't even know why they even put quick draw back into the game. At least the good snipers were trying to quick scope in Black Ops. But anyways, this is probably gonna be my only. You can attest to this, but this is probably gonna be my only tips video. Why? Because to be honest, there's no better way to gain experience other than just playing the game. You will gain more experience in the 10 minutes of playing an actual game than instead of watching a video. So, you know, the main things that you always got to remember is that you just got to be rational about what you do, and you really just got to know your limit. You just got to know what you can do, what you can't do, and what you think you can do, because those are all separate things. What you think you can do isn't always what you can do, and it's always funny when you get owned trying to, you know, 360 no scope whatever that I see a lot of assholes doing on this game. Actually, maybe that's just me. I don't see it too much when I'm playing with people. It's always when I play alone. But anyways, the first thing that you guys really should know is the choice of point streak, and it's probably been evident to you guys, but I don't want to, you know, repeat it too many times. But it's obvious that the dominant point streak setup has always been specialist. Why? Because apparently, if it just tends to make the quest to a MOAB just a whole lot easier with, you know, having all the perks and such. I mean, here's the thing: if you want to be a great team player, you use support. If you want to be a annoying team killing whore slash slayer, you're gonna use assault. And if you just want to go for MOABs, or you just generally like using your own gun skill like I do, you're gonna want to use the specialist. It's just as simple as that. But if I can give any tips for you for starting the specialist class, I would highly recommend what's it called? Scavenger is first, and then maybe sleight of hand is second, because generally you're not gonna need sleight of hand unless you reload. And if you reload, chances are you probably shot at someone and killed them, concerning how fast people die in this game. So you're probably gonna want to have a sleight of hand second and scavenger first, just because it's always easier to have that ammo just at the start of the game. So pretty much that's all you need to know. Specialist, Rex shit, and nothing can beat it when going from a MOAB. Secondly is obviously the biggest issue here is gun choice and how you use your gun, because there's two things that you really need to think about when you're choosing guns. That's power, probably range, and mobility, because range isn't that big of an issue. To be honest, I think one of the biggest and easiest guns to get a MOAB with would be this MP7. You know, I don't hate me for using this, because honestly I have, I don't know, 20 other videos with different guns, so you can't really hate me for doing this. But I just thought this was generally a really clutch MOAB that won us the game when we were down. And notice how they had us triple cap in the beginning too, but this was a really clutch MOAB. But that's not the point. The point is you gotta choose a gun that you that you like. And the thing is, although assault rifles may be stronger than other guns, it's the sheer fact that this is, to me personally, it's the sheer fact that what's it called? Some machine guns, SMGs, have a high mobility rate, and that really, I don't know, makes me feel like a fucking badass when I'm just running through shit, just going everywhere. Especially with this MP7, it's just, I'll be honest, it's a pretty dominant gun, and I mainly use it when I know we're gonna lose, or I think we're gonna lose, or we're playing against tryhards in general. So that's why I have it. As you can see, we're losing, but it's just pick your gun. Don't be a total bitch about choosing your gun, because obviously there's OP'd guns, overpowered guns in this game that everyone knows about. I couldn't care less to list them off or bitch about them, but there's OP'd guns out there. You can use them, but just remember that you're a bitch. All right. Okay. Secondly, maybe attachments. Use what you like, but the question of the silencer who wants to be a sneaky beaver and just sneak around the map like me. To me, this the silencer is more of a placebo effect because it's in my head that it's not there so people don't see me on the map. It's there so that even if I, like, my accuracy is not that great, but even if I miss the first shot, they won't turn around, and it just sort of gives me in this mindset that I never have to make that first shot or kill someone right away because they don't know where I am. I can just sort of just keep shooting, and I tend to aim better that way, if that's making sense. So fuck the guns. Thirdly, you gotta know your the advantages and disadvantages to your weapon. I mean, you just can't use a shotgun and expect to go just far range with it. Like, you can't expect to take on, I don't know, maybe 4 guys with 1 gun. You just gotta be rational about things. There's not really much to say about this. It's just you know, just remember how much ammo you have in your gun, how big your clip is, how many people you're probably going to go up against, because there's no chance that you'll be able to take on a whole team just by yourself, obviously. This isn't really the biggest, you know, factor I'd like to mention while trying to get a MOAB, but it's a really big Enigma booster because, you know, it's true that some people play better when they're down, but personally I think it's easier to play when you're up because, oh yeah, well, I should probably mention the 4th point, but the 4th point was pretty much you sort of want to have the general lead or the upper hand on the game, because if you think about it, no one likes to be put under the pressure that they have to get a MOAB before they lose, or they have to clutch. So a lot of people tend to play better by just, you know, relaxing, chilling out like that. So it's preferred that you already have a lead or some sort of a lead before you go for a MOAB, because it's annoying trying to cap the flag while your team is losing, or just anything like that in general, or going for a MOAB while you're losing. That it's just really an annoying thing to deal with. 4th thing or 5th thing, whatever, I really don't keep track of this. You gotta know the spawns to some extent. I mean, people do say that the spawns are fucked up in Modern Warfare 3, and for the most part, I can attest to the crimes committed by Infinity Ward, and I can definitely see why people are complaining. Spawns are just shitty as hell. I wish they had Forge like Halo, but, you know, you just don't want to be too pessimistic about things and just deal with things. But wow, I got really close right here, but you see, when you do that shit, you gotta change positions. Like, notice how I don't go back in the doorway, which saved my ass there. But you gotta know the spawns at some point. Not maybe, you know, UAV works well, but, you know, everyone always has assassins, so it shouldn't really be that big of a deal. You just gotta guess where they're spawning. You know, just using, maybe you press start. Just look where your green areas are as opposed to the empty areas. So just stay away from your teammates. Yeah, that's another point I'd like to mention. Stay away from your teammates. Seriously, your teammates are just I like to use them as death fodders. You guys don't know what that is. You use their death for you to get a kill, or sometimes I'll just like to push them into enemy territory and let them die, and I'll sneak behind them because it's kind of cute watching them die, seeing their stupidity in action. But here's the part. I'm waiting for my friend here. I'm waiting. I'm like, yeah, let's go see Fox Cap together. I'm using MOAB right now. And oh, one of the biggest tips I can say about MOAB when you're doing domination, when you get the MOAB and right before they die, you're gonna want to stand next to a flag, so that way you get a bunch of point bonuses, and it makes you just look like makes you look and feel like a complete badass when you get all those points on your screen. So I can't really say much besides that. Know your spawns, play to your advantages. Remember that guns have are limited to certain capabilities based on mobility, power, and range. Point streak, use specialists. And probably the biggest tip that I can give about a MOAB is that you really, I know this is ironic and sort of just contradicting what I've been saying for the past 9 minutes, but you just don't want to go for the MOAB in general. It's more frustrating to get killed when you're on a really high streak, or when you know you're close to that MOAB. It's really frustrating to get killed by that. So for the most part, just don't go for it. there's no better advice for getting MOAB than just don't go for it, because generally if you make the push for getting a MOAB, you'll be disappointed if you don't get it, and you'll get mad when you die. So the best thing I can say is just don't go for that MOAB. Play for fun, play that for the hell of it. And you know, when you do get on that nice kill streak, there's gonna be a point where you're gonna feel like, you know, you're almost there, you're gonna want to camp. But I can understand if you camp for the, you know, the last few kills, but you're definitely not gonna want to camp, you know, for the most part, because there's those revenge killers. As you can see, the spawns are made for revenge points, for payback kills, and you really do not want to camp. That's all I really gotta say. That's all you need to know. No more tips. Just play the fucking game if you want to get good. If you want to get a MOAB. I mean, definitely, it's not as hard as you think, but it's a lot of shit going on in this game. But alright, that's all I really need to say. Take it easy. Have fun touching yourselves at night, guys and girls.